Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Yeah, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jumanji Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Jumanji, wow.
Yeah. All right. So, today we're going to talk about our first foreign film for Scare Talk. Foreign meaning like not in English. Because we've done other movies from filmed in other countries. But this is our first non-English foreign film review.
And you watch subtitles, not dubbed, right?
Yep, I did.
Okay, good.
Subtitles all day.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to talk about Train to... Is it Busan?
Busan, yeah.
Train to Busan.
Yeah.
All right, Joel, have fun telling us who's in this one.
Yeah, all right. So this one stars Gong Yu. He is Si Yak Woo. He's the main character.
All right.
One character in, and all right. He's our main character in this movie. Cool. He was in 8 episodes of a Netflix show called The Silent Sea. Okay. He was in The Age of Shadows, and most recently, people could see him in Squid Game. All right. I thought he was only in 2 episodes, but it said on IMDb he was in 4. So, all right.
Okay.
That's nearly half of the half the season. And then we've got Ma Dong Siak.
Nice.
Who is Sang Hua. He's the big guy. He's a lot of people's favorite character of this movie.
Yeah.
And he was in Ashfall, The Gangster, The Cop, The Devil.
Ooh. And
most recently, again, people could see him in the MCU, The Eternals.
Oh.
So he's in the MCU world now.
Okay.
And then we've got Soo-Ann Kim. She is Soo-Ann. She's the daughter. And she was in the Battleship Island, A Little Princess, and Whistleblower.
Wow, so they're in these English movies?
Well, I think these are just the English version, the English. I'm sure that they're something completely different.
Gotcha.
But it translated into these.
Okay.
On IMDb, that I don't think they show the original title for these. So, A Little Princess is actually an American movie back in the day.
Yeah.
So, it was written by Joo Suk Park, and he's only written one other thing. It was called Hawaii, Hwayii, not Hawaii, but
okay.
Hawaii, A Monster Boy.
Can you say his name again?
Joo Suk Park.
Okay.
Joosuk Park.
I was hoping that you were going to say Jurassic Park. Or something about Jurassic Park. I was really...
Oh, man. Yeah, that's... Wow. That was intentional. That had to be intentional. I don't know how old this guy is, but that sounds intentional. Joosuk Park. That's funny. Not making fun. Just, you know.
Joel's so insensitive. It's a very common name.
And this was also written by Sang Ho Yeon, who did more stuff than the other guy, than Jurassic Park. He...
Oh, man. We're going to get canceled.
Yeah, I know. To our South Korean listeners, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He did the Seoul Station, the animated prequel to this movie.
Oh.
Peninsula,
animated
which
prequel.
Is this animated. Yeah, it was animated.
Interesting.
And then he wrote screenplay for Peninsula, which is the sequel to this movie.
Oh.
So this already has its like own universe, basically.
Wow.
It's got like a prequel and a sequel, and a show called Hellbound, which is a Netflix show. 6 episodes of that. And this was directed by... Wow, I didn't even realize this till just now, and I had to like write this all down. But it's directed by the same guy, Sang Ho Yeon.
Okay.
Who also did... That's why he did all this same stuff. Seoul Station, Peninsula, and Hellbound were the ones that he directed as well. Wow, okay. I didn't even realize it was the same person.
You're just writing down the same stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize you wrote it down twice.
Well, I mean, it's, for writing and directing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing, it was familiar, but the name itself I didn't realize was the same person. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. To like just now.
All right. So, while a zombie virus breaks out in South Korea, passengers struggle to survive on the train from Seoul to Busan. Seoul to Busan.
Yes.
So there you go.
So I've been talking about this movie for a couple years. I watched, I think it was like 2018, 2018. Yeah. For longer than this movie has even been out.
It came out in 2016.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's been 6 years since this movie came out. And I've been like trying to get you to watch it for a while here.
Yeah.
Decades. Like centuries. What were your thoughts like going into this movie? And because I know you're not a zombie fan.
Yeah.
And I'm not like the biggest zombie fan either. I'm more of one than you are. But as a non-zombie fan, what were your like thoughts going into this movie?
Yeah, so I've kind of become more of a fan over the last, I guess, couple of years with watching or rewatching Dawn of the Dead, the remake.
Yeah.
And then the new Resident Evil movie I really liked. And then remembering about The Crazies, which, some people can say is a zombie movie, or, you can say what you want about that, but, similar. And I really like that one too. But like Walking Dead is okay. Some of the other zombie movies are, they're all kind of the same. And, so I'm just, whatever. Army of the Dead, especially. I didn't really
we won't
care
talk
for
about
that
one.
Oscar
winner. Army of the Dead.
Yeah. But what really kind of made me not watch this movie until now is just the fact that it was subtitled and not in English. And I usually, it's not that I don't like movies with subtitles, because I've seen a good number of movies with subtitles that I really liked. It's just, you kind of have to have an investment because you have to read. So I've never sat down and been like, okay, I feel like I want to get invested in a movie and then think, okay, I want to watch Train to Busan.
Yeah.
There's always been some other film that I'm kind of more in the mood for, like more of a like atmospheric, slow burn type of movie. Never like a foreign film. So
yeah,
I I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, since you really liked it, I thought, it's going to have some good zombie stuff. I kind of thought that. But other than that, I didn't really know what to expect going into it. So that's kind of where I was when I came into it. But
okay, not really any expectations for it.
Not really, other than I thought the zombies were going to be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect to see so much action, and like a lot of the just kind of blockbuster movie feel.
It's a fast-paced movie.
Yeah, it had some really like blockbuster scenes.
Yeah,
or like blockbuster action films.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that, so yeah, that was a surprise for sure.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, this is one of those. As far as so for a zombie movie itself, I feel like it's a very simple story. The whole movie takes place on a train, but there's more to this movie than just like the zombie action, and you actually get to know the characters in this movie, which is kind of crazy for. It's about a 2-hour movie. To set up so many like different characters in this 2-hour movie that's set in one location.
Yeah.
For the majority of the movie, they get off the train at some points and stuff too, but they did a really good job with setting up who basically the good guys are, who you're like rooting for, and there's even a character that honestly is a worse villain than the zombies in this movie. Like he single-handedly like basically kills a good portion of these people, just because of his selfish acts and everything. But
and then they try to kind of make you feel bad for the guy at the end.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my biggest negatives, because with everything that this character does throughout the movie, he gets bitten like off screen. You don't even get the satisfaction of seeing him get bit. He's just like slow. He's just turning when you see him again. So I was like, that's kind of lame that we didn't actually get didn't get the satisfaction of seeing this guy get bit. But glad that he did. Glad that he did, but it takes a very dramatic turn after he gets bit. I've seen YouTube reactors reacting to this movie a few times, and they all pretty much have like the same reaction at the end of this movie. Which it's just so the acting at the end when they're fighting with the villain basically of the movie, and he gets bit.
Yeah.
This is spoilers, by the way. I'm just, it's been out for 6 years. I want people to watch this movie, but at the same time, I do want to talk about it too. So, the main character gets bit on the hand, which was kind of a stupid move. He just basically is trying to like hold him back, but he puts his hand like over his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
And then just like, the whole seeing his daughter, like she did an amazing job in this movie.
Yeah.
Daughter was probably the best actor in this movie.
Yeah, I'd agree.
With her acting, especially at the end of the movie. And it's just like, it's a tear-jerking like moment seeing her not be able to like be with her dad, and just seeing, the realization that this character is about to either he has to die or he's about to turn. And then like you see the silhouette like drop into the on the ground, and at this point, like a lot of the YouTubers that I've seen watch this movie are like in tears and stuff. And I was. It's an emotional like scene. It's so I totally understand it, but it's just like it's not something that you would expect from a zombie movie.
Yeah,
you wouldn't expect such a dramatic moment, which doesn't really make sense because like a lot of the times in these zombie movies there are characters who are either together or like a father son, father daughter type of a situation.
yeah.
So if one of them gets bit, then naturally there would be a dramatic moment.
Right.
But you don't usually get that in zombie movies. Yeah. So to get
especially killing themselves. I feel like I've seen zombie movies where like the spouse or whoever the related person is has to kill them or something like that, but never jumping off a train, killing yourself.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a very, very dramatic ending. And I thought at the very end that they were just going to get shot and killed. I was like, dude, there's no like telling what's going to happen now.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, dude, that would be so messed up if they just end up being executed by the military. I
know.
Like, dude, that's too much. Especially this little girl. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know. It's Korea. They can do what they want.
They they don't hold anything back in their stuff.
It's not North Korea.
So, yeah. Yeah, South Korean like dramas and stuff I've heard are just like anybody can go at any time. It doesn't matter who you are.
Wow.
So with that being said, though, having the little girl and the woman who's pregnant live kind of felt very like American to me. Like,
sure.
Of course, those are the ones that are going to live.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they didn't end up getting killed, but at the same time, it would have made more sense if they did. Just because
definitely would have stood out more.
It would have. Yeah, it definitely would have.
Very dark.
Yeah. This whole movie, like it's, like I was saying, there's characters that you root for. There's characters that you want to see die quickly.
Yeah.
And there's character development too with the main character. Like he went from being like this selfish guy to risking his life to save this stranger. Like it's he does definitely do a 180 in his character arc in just 2 hours.
Yeah.
And for a zombie movie, this is probably at least in my top 5 of all time.
Yeah, I would put it there too for a zombie film. I really enjoyed it. I thought the action was awesome. The zombies were really cool. The way that they were, it almost seemed like they were like in fast forward or something. And or fast forward or like stop motion, kind of filming. I don't know. Like they were, the way that they were moving was really like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looked really cool. I enjoyed the
real
zombies.
People doing like I'm sure there were some CGI moments in there, but overall like those like the movements and stuff were actual people.
Yeah.
So kudos to those people. That's
because
awesome. Their movements were crazy in this movie
and scary. Like these zombies were actually scary. For sure. And it wasn't like your typical like scream that they would do. They had all kinds of sounds that they were making and stuff, and you know the threat that they posed was extreme. So it was a lot of suspense. And
I like that little twist on the whole on zombies, where if they don't see you, then like they just go about their day, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna walk around here,
kind of like a quiet place kind of thing. Yeah, or when they go through dark tunnels, like they can't see you anymore. Right.
That was a nice touch too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and then they get out of the tunnel and it's like, "Wah!" You know?
yeah. Yeah.
Once the light hits, they're like,
yeah,
they're ready
they're able
to
to
go.
see again, and then you're like right in front of them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like there were definitely, there had to have been a couple of like CGI moments, like that moment where they're in the train and they're just like all rolling over each other.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine that was real.
No. Yeah. There'll be a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I know. It's a cool scene, it's a cool little thing to show, but it's like that's CGI. Or when they're like breaking through the glass on top and they're just like all falling on the train.
Yeah,
that could have been real, but again, that felt kind of CGI-ish.
Yeah. It looked good though. It
did,
didn't
yeah.
look like super fake. So
yeah, no, it didn't. But yeah, those are really the only two scenes that I can think of that may have been CGI. Everything else was just like, everything else was them.
Yeah.
Was actual people, which is really cool. Especially making a zombie movie today. Like that's, CGI, I'm sure would have been a lot less expensive than having all this other stuff, but it looks much better having it like this. So
yeah. The movie looked really good. There was even some good like scenery shots and just like the kind of overhead shots of all the train tracks and all that was pretty cool. I never thought of like a horror movie on a train necessarily, like and that was the other thing that I kind of thought when I heard about this movie. I'm like, really, it's on a train and it's a zombie movie? Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, you're gonna die like very quickly if there's a zombie outbreak on a train. So it didn't really like make sense to me. But it
does help to have like, there was at least 15 cars. So
yeah, they were
at least there were probably more than that, but I remember them mentioning car 15 at one point. So yeah, it's not like just like one long train or whatever. It's not, there's different departments. There's So yeah, definitely the best character was that bigger guy with his pregnant wife or whatever girlfriend. He was the best. His whole relationship with her was cool, and then his relationship with the main character, how they kind of started as just enemies, I guess. They just didn't get off to the right foot, and then they end up I guess working together. He saved his daughter's life, so they're friends.
Yeah. I liked him a lot.
He was definitely my favorite character.
Too bad he had to go. But
and it's another one of those dumb decision making things too. Like his hand was completely covered, and he just decided to put it like I know he's not thinking. He's trying to like make sure the door stays closed, but it's like, dude, don't move your hand there.
That
it's easy access.
One of the older ladies just kind of like walks into the zombies.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
The one, after once they lock the other characters out. Yeah. And then so what was it? Her sister? They were, I think the two older ladies were sisters. Yeah. That it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's after the big guy gets killed and the zombies are running towards them. Yeah. I feel like she had enough time to get to them, but I know it's in slow motion, so maybe it's that particular moment was in slow motion, so maybe it seemed like she had more time than she actually did. But I feel like they made eye contact for a long time. Yeah. And she could have gotten through.
Always try.
Yeah, exactly. You were just like standing there, like, come on,
let it go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of weird, but for dramatics, for sure. Especially with the slow motion and the eye contact and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I really liked it. Some of the dumb decisions I can let go of because the rest of the movie was so good.
Yeah.
But I would say my biggest negative is some of the acting. And it could be just because it's in a different language and it's hard for me to connect the emotions that you're seeing on screen by just reading the words.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing something I don't understand and you're so emotional and then I read it. It's just, I don't know. It was hard for me to make the connection. So I don't know if it was the acting or just it was hard for me to really get it. Because like the end when, it's supposed to be super sad, but the guy just, I don't know. I couldn't connect with him. Like he was crying and stuff and I could connect with the moment, but I don't know. Just, it was off.
Yeah.
A little off to me. Some of the acting, and it just might be the way that the acting is in, these films. They're the South Korean films. I don't know. So yeah, that would be my only negative, and I don't know if that's just because it was in a different language. So I don't want to hold it against the film too much, but yeah, that is something that I did notice. I heard that they're making a American version of this.
Yeah, they have like a name for it and everything. I think they're naming it like The Last Train Out of New York or something like that. Or The Last Train to New York. I don't know. I don't like when they Americanize foreign movies.
Yeah.
Especially, so this, like I was saying, like this is definitely a zombie movie, but at the same time, there's more to it than that. This movie has heart.
Oh yeah.
This movie has something that a lot of zombie movies don't have, and to try to replicate that, it's not going to work. You're not going to get the same emotion, the same, it just, I don't know. It's not going to work like they think that it's going to in this particular movie. To me, I don't know. I don't like when they do that kind of thing anyway, but this is honestly like probably one of my favorite foreign horror movies that I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've seen The Ring and I've seen Ringu. Ringu is so much better. I've seen The Grudge and what was that? Ju-on. Yeah. Ju-on's way better. I'm not even a big fan of those movies themselves anyway, but I am a fan of this movie. So I am going to watch it when it comes out, but I don't know. I don't have high expectations for that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Yeah, definitely have to get some good acting and good story.
Oh yeah.
A good writer.
Yeah.
To really bring it to life and not use a ton of CGI.
Oh yeah, that's
all kinds of things.
They're gonna do that. Like, yeah. It's the American version. Like we're about saving money here. So
yeah.
Saving money to make more money. So
right.
Yeah, they definitely will be using CGI in that movie. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And it's one of those, like, if you're not even a fan of subtitled movies, it's really not that bad. Like, you can understand what's going on without actually having to read everything that's going on screen.
Yeah, it's so action-packed and
it is.
Yeah, you can get through it even without subtitles and probably enjoy it.
Yeah, and a lot of the acting is actually in their emotion. It's in their face and everything. So there are bits of information in this movie that you will miss if you don't read it. Like, I think his company is the one responsible for this outbreak.
Virus. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
which
threw that in there.
Yeah, they did. That's one of those cliches that they do in these zombie outbreak movies where, you're following a character that happens to be involved in the outbreak itself or work for a company that's involved in the outbreak. And it's like, that really, okay, well, cool. I don't know how realistic that is, but okay.
Well, maybe we'll learn more about it in the prequel or the sequel
in Peninsula. Well, probably not Peninsula, but Soul Station.
Yeah.
I saw a trailer for Peninsula, and I haven't seen either one of those, but it just has a different feel altogether than Train to Busan has. It looks, if you think this movie is action packed, that movie's way more action packed just from the trailer alone. There's just because we're starting out in the zombie outbreak in this movie.
Yeah.
Kind of. They start off the movie in like a quarantine zone. So I'm like, okay, how far into it are we? But
gotcha.
Nobody at this point has actually seen a zombie. So I don't know what the quarantine zone's about. But yeah, so it's basically the start of the zombie apocalypse. In the Peninsula, you know how fast those zombies turned. Like, instant.
Yeah.
So you take those zombies from that movie and just put them into the world in Peninsula. I think it takes place 4 years after the outbreak, after Train to Busan.
Yeah, everybody.
So it's everyone's a zombie, basically.
Zombie babies and everything.
Yeah. Oh man. The Americanized version will have that.
Yeah.
At some point,
like the
CGI zombie baby,
like in Dawn of the Dead.
Like Dawn of the Dead. It's gonna be directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
I actually wouldn't mind that, honestly, if it was.
No,
he did really good in Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, he's
well,
done
the
now.
Army of the Dead. Okay, sure,
he's done. Somebody else.
No more zombie movies for you.
No, it could be good. We'll see.
Yeah, it really depends on who you get to do it, and who even wants to do it too. If you've seen Train to Busan, it's and you're a filmmaker, I don't know if I'd want to even touch that.
Yeah,
because it's just not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I liked it too. And so yeah, our first foreign film. We're gonna have to start doing some more of these.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting into there's not really a series to go through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing some just random ones.
Yeah, I don't even know what the next as far as big as Texas Chainsaw Massacre was. We don't really have anything that big planned. Friday the 13th is probably the last one that's that big that we haven't done yet. But
there's Hellraiser, but I don't even want to go.
You want to do all of those?
No.
I mean, we could do maybe the first two, and then this Hulu thing.
Yeah,
that we've got going.
Hulu thing.
The thing. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be one-offs for a while here. So
yeah, I think so. We'll have Evil Dead at some point, but that's only a few movies. We'll have Jeepers Creepers at some point, but that's only a few movies.
Only a few movies.
So not any long series going on. So
yeah.
Get some random ones in there. If you guys want to give us a recommendation, want to hear our thoughts on something, then send us a message. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Even if it's a foreign movie, I will suck it up and read.
There's a few that I really like, foreign movie wise.
Yeah.
But I haven't really watched any in quite a while. I think I remember one of the last ones that I watched that I really liked was The Orphanage.
Oh yeah.
It was that Spanish. It was a ghost story.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That was pretty good.
It was Guillermo del Toro, right? no?
Yeah. Well, I
I think
think
it
he
was.
produced it.
Oh, okay.
I think he was involved. I mean that
Mama?
was going to lead into my next one, which was Pan's Labyrinth, which
Yeah.
I would consider horror. It's like horror fantasy.
Okay.
So that was another good one too. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot out there that a lot of good ones that we're just like missing out on.
Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
Good Night, Mommy. I heard was good. I think that's what it's called. Good Night, Mommy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think I've heard that one.
Or Good Night, Mama, or something.
I'm sure it exists. I mean, there's also Mama.
Yeah,
that's another.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that is different.
But
it's a Spanish horror movie.
Look up Good Night, Mommy. I'm sure that's what it's called. So,
I mean, the title sounds kind of familiar, but I don't. Yeah,
it's like two brothers, like kids, and their mom. And something's up with their mom. She had like plastic surgery or something, and her face is like wrapped up. I don't know. Something like that, where maybe she's not actually their mom or something. I don't know. I can't remember what I read about it, but it sounded good.
Good Night, Mommy, 2014.
Yeah, there you go. So, anyways.
Original title is Ich Say.
Oh.
Okay.
Perfect.
Or Ich say. That sounds German.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No, maybe that'll go on the list at some point.
So what we're going to try to do is me and Joel are going to kind of go back and forth on picking movies that we haven't seen or that the other person hasn't seen.
We started that like a year ago, and then we got a bunch of new stuff coming out. So we put that on pause. So we're back at it again.
Yeah, so I'll have to think of something, and we'll eventually.
I know one that you were wanting to do was, what was it, Summer of '84?
Yeah, I did want to do that one.
Mm-hmm.
You watched that?
I did.
Okay.
I watched it a year ago when I thought we were going to do it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll eventually do that, maybe in the summer.
Yeah, it's a summer one. Yeah.
So I'll think of something else in the meantime.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that is Trained. Oh, actually, we need to rate it.
We didn't rate this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you going with? 100, 99.
102. No, this isn't Hill House rating territory. It's close. Like, again, this is one of my favorite zombie movies. So I am gonna give it a 92.
Oh, nice.
I really liked it a lot.
Very good. I liked it too. I'm going 83.
All right.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one I can watch again for sure.
Yeah,
it's very entertaining. So
it is. Yeah,
really fun.
I kind of want to do dubbed, but I don't. Like, I feel like it's gonna ruin it for me.
Yeah,
but
make the acting look really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't. Why is it always like that? Like, dubbed is like they get the worst actors. To do like the voiceover work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the voice never matches what they look like. Like,
no, yeah.
It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Most American sounding voices, and it's obviously not American movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so bad. Oh, man. All right, cool. So those are our ratings, 92 and 83. And so we'll see you guys next time. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Jurassic Park like us.